Hi folks, 8 cards in the game create Phyrexian Mite tokens, but we're getting rid of that one because it kills all your creatures as well. So I'm going to put all 7 of these into a deck. Let's get into it and see if we can get some Mite tokens on the board. The Phyrexian Mite token, here's a fun fact piece of trivia for you, has more words on it than any other token in Magic Puzzle Quest. Part of the reason for this longer than average creature tokens video contribution, because we want to see some of the stuff that it does. So let's get some cards down on the board, and we can start generating some Phyrexian Mites, and we can see all this massive text that it has. I'm not going to read it out, but I'll give you the essence of it, which is the important thing, isn't it? We all like an essence. Okay, so we've learnt a fun fact. We're waiting for some cards to go down. What do? Oh, you need your first creature to attack. Okay, well, we better put our first creature on the board then. And we'll put Skrelv's Hive down, which sends Mite tokens into play at the beginning of our turn as well. So we'll start generating a little mini stack of them, but also we can have a look at them. Okay, and there's our first Mite token. So let's have a look at it. There it is, Phyrexian Mite. It's mythic. It's 1/1. It has unblockable and toxic 1. It's colourless and has the creature type artifact Phyrexian Mite. And then it has at the beginning of combat on your turn, if it has 3 or more reinforcements, it gets toxic 3. So that 1 changes to a 3. If it has 5 or more reinforcements, it gets toxic 5. And if it has 9 or more reinforcements, it gains toxic 7. And then it loses reinforcements after it attacks, based on the number of creatures that your opponent has in play. And there's the artwork. Very nice. This is by Dave Kendall, 170 cards. Not that many have made their way into Puzzle Quest. I was struggling to find one that you'd all know, but he has done everyone's favourite Origins card, the Scab Clan Berserker. That's one of Dave's. So there we go. Now, let's see if the Mite actually works and does what it says. So we'll see if we can... Oh, no, we didn't. Right, so that's beginning of our combat. The infected thingy put a Mite into play, so it's reinforced once now. That was unfortunate. We lost our Swarm Lord. But worry not. So beginning of our turn, Skrelv's Hive puts another token into play, and we're going to cast we're going to cast a spell that generates some mites now as well. Charge of the mites, there we go. That's going to put 2 more on. So now at the beginning of combat, this is in fact reinforced 3 or more times, so it should get toxic 3. So we'll just check that works. There we go. It's changed to toxic 3. Now, the reason it didn't change to toxic 5 when it got the 5th reinforcement is that extra token went down at the beginning of when our first creature attacks. So it's all to do with the order in which things happen. So the toxin was reading at the beginning of combat before it got the extra reinforcement, which is what went on there. But let's see what goes on here. So we're at toxic 1. At the beginning of our combat, we should get toxic 5 because we're reinforced 5 or more times. Can we get to 9 before this combat starts? We get 2 more. No, we've got to 8. So this should go to toxic 5. However, watch what happens. So we'll get an extra 1 at the beginning of combat, and it stays at toxic 1. And this has always been the problem with the Mite token, hasn't it? The Phyrexian Mite. It's really hit and miss whether it get... Greg nicked my Rishkar's expertise. What a git. Oh, well, that was rude. Oh, and he's nicked my charge of the mites. Okay, Greg's now playing mites. Hi-ho. Anyway, yeah, it's always been hit and miss whether it gets the toxic counter boost. And I think those of you that have played with it regularly will recognise that frailty in the Mite token. It will never be fixed, so I'm not really worried about it. It's not something that's worth reporting, even though I've captured it here on video. There we go. Now we're reinforced a ton of times, and you can see it's already gone to toxic 7. So that's worked at least. Yeah, hit and miss, but there we go. The Phyrexian Mite token.